Are you new to the crypto space, the DeFi space? Do you think that it's just as strange as outer space? Well, welcome to this show. Let's dive into some DeFi. Oh, welcome back. Welcome to the show where we build financial power. I'm Matt, and this is
Potter,
the Sherpa that has me under her wing, teaching me this world that is just out there, to say the least. Very, very cool. I'm excited about today's show for many, many reasons. Had a few realizations. Whole point of this show is to sort of document the process of both of us learning this. Potter's been in this longer than I have, but I'm just soaking it up like a little sponge. Let's talk about some miners with an E. The past 2 weeks have been quite trippy. If you don't know what a miner is, Potter, how would you give a brief understanding of what this is?
it's a deposit of assets that a bunch of people say, hey, if we put all of our assets together, I think that we can earn money from all of us, from more and more people putting their assets in this pool. We can earn rewards off of their transactions. And it's like, think that'll work? It's degen, baby. Yeah, when people see an opportunity for profit, they'll see it. Now that is that's the way it works. If you understand drip, you would see it's like a lighter version of drip or reservoir without all the bells and whistles. You put something in and you are rewarded based on other people putting something in and getting a percentage out of it. It's a game.
Yeah.
It's 100% a game.
Without a doubt is a game. And I have seen quite a few people, well, I mean, not just with miners, I mean, with crypto as a whole, saying that it's a Ponzi, it's a pyramid, it's a this, it's a that, with the affiliate links and all this. But, like I've seen the word Ponzi pop up quite a bit around miners. And so if something has no utility, no use case, is it then a Ponzi scheme?
Well, it would be, and I would even say, like last year, it could have been considered a Ponzi scheme. But like if you take a look at Baked Beans, for example, this is a software company now, and they're developing other things. They're trying to say, hey, Baked Beans was our venture capital moment, right? This is how we raise the capital to build our company.
Yep. Yeah. And I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
So that's kind of a utility, no problem.
Well, and Baked Beans, they created a separate token. They created their own, they created something else that's working. I don't know how much each one leans on each other, but yeah, it's very interesting. So my sort of investing or money background or, pursuit of financial power, it's really been long-term intentions, long-term plays. I'm very not keen on cash grabs or something that's fancy. So this is definitely, I feel like, the first fast play that I've been involved with, but because, drip to me is like a long-term play, people buying and holding Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that's a long-term play. That's all I've ever really known. And I think a lot of people, that's what they know at the surface of crypto is. I have a few friends that are like, hey, what are you doing with this YouTube show and crypto? And I'm like, how much time you got? I mean, just the amount of what you can do is crazy. And I'm now starting to see different levels of crypto skills or understanding.
And what do you mean? Can you explain?
I mean that, I mean that personally, of like my crypto skill. Still without a doubt, a noob, but I have I had a friend send me a message the other day. It was an internal error for one of the cryptos. And I was like, oh yeah, you're low on BNB. Like you need to get a little BNB and then, you can make the transaction. Basically gas fees. Yep. 6 months ago, I'd have been like, what?
Yeah, literally 6 months ago you did.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought, you're like, okay, here we go. I knew it. Here's the error. And you're like, oh. You're
Yeah.
right. So, but I gotta do a spoiler for the show. Like,
Sure.
so guys, we're supposed to chronicle Matt coming up through the ranks, but Matt has leapfrogged into degen. So he is a full-on degen. So a lot of the things that we were going to, here is MetaMask.
Yeah.
Here is the thing. He's in DeFi space, and so we've always said the show is going to be fluid, right? So if the show turned into a DeFi show, I think even Mental Boy was, we're talking about we need to have something on here regarding that. So, his skill set has changed. And what did you say Jenna told you the other day about?
Yeah, so my wife, I was talking to you, Potter, and I was also talking to another friend. I was having two different conversations on Telegram, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was just like, just crypto stuff. And she wasn't prying, but she was just interested.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what I just said was, and then I was like, so basically there's 0.03 BNB in my wallet currently into the baked beans contract, but then I'm also using that to talking about the reservoir, just terminology in passing. And she was like, you realize that you're a full-blown nerd right now, right? Like, I have no idea what you just said. And she said, you even abbreviated most of that, so that is without a doubt a skill. Learning the vocabulary of anything is a skill. And
that's a good point.
I mean, if you go get a degree or a trade or whatever, what you are doing is you are learning the competency of communication and then the actual skill itself. But the communication is critical. You go into the healthcare world without some sort of formal education of the basic terminology, good luck. And it's the same thing in this world. It's the same thing. And I think that's a very missed thing of understanding that, yeah, it's a skill, just learning to talk the language. Because Potter, you are still, of course, talking over my head, but I'm grabbing and catching pieces as time goes. But I can literally see the understanding going up. And another thing is, I believe that some people have a talent in making money. Some people have talent in basketball. Some people have talent in speaking. Everybody has different talents. But some people absolutely just know how to make money. And there's also people that have the skill of tech, just a natural understanding of it. Potter, you have both. And I believe that is more rare than each individually. And I'm seeing that. I've heard you say it. I've known you for a little while and I've heard you say it, but seeing it is so much different. It's so much different. There was one thing that she and I were talking about at the beginning of this week. She was like, hey, not financial advice, do your own research. But I would do. And I did it. And I trust her without a doubt in a trustless world. And I did it. And I was like, I don't fully understand it. This is money I can lose. So it's okay to risk. And sure enough, it worked. And then I was able to reverse engineer it. Like, oh, how did she figure that out? So the level of tech skill you have, and then the level of, talent towards making money, talent towards tech. I've heard you say it, but now I'm seeing it.
Thanks. And that's the show, folks.
That's it. There you go. That's the wrap up.
Well, a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people aren't going to believe you. They're going to be like, I know Potter. Potter didn't do that. It's like, you guys actually don't know me because generally I don't talk work around friends or family, right? So nobody knows what I can do or what I'm capable of, but you're seeing it, right? My clients, when I was a consultant, they saw it for business, right? Yep. And I got to be honest, having the feedback from you about this is giving me such good confidence, right? Sure. Like I'm not going, you know what, everybody can do this and I shouldn't. You're doing something different. Like has me going, wow, I'm here. Hey, all right, how's it going, man? Yeah, what's
going on, man? Aaron, how are you, man?
Having that has really helped me, and so thank you for the feedback. But this started with me, nice try, Bucko. This was about you, and you're You're not Matt, the guy who lives on the street. You're Matt the DJ now.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I think it went into warp speed is because of these miners.
Yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree. It's growth happens in discomfort, and I can't tell you how uncomfortable I've been in the past 2 weeks.
Why?
In a good way. And I'm not saying like, oh,
yeah, I didn't think you were saying it, but I just mean, what do you mean?
Because all I've ever known is buy and hold ETFs and S&P 500 and diversification for 80 billion years, and then you'll get 2%. That's all I've ever known. So for me to be looking at something every 10 friggin' minutes, recompounding, rehydrating, whatever you want to call it, every 4 hours, 8 hours, truly watching the numbers. There's another thing. So months ago, you were like, Origin tracking numbers and this and that. And I was like, there ain't no way. There's no way in hell. But Lord, in the past 2 weeks, I have so clearly understood. And I remember asking you the question, what the hell are you tracking? Why are you tracking it? Is it for taxes? Is it like, and if you would have been like, yes, for taxes, I'd be like, totally get it. Makes total sense. But you're like, no, it gives you a macro view. And I was like, I don't even understand the micro view. Yeah. So, but now having a project that is, you have to know what's going on in the micro view to understand the macro view. Those numbers, it makes sense now. It makes a lot of sense. And growth happens in discomfort. And I've been shivering.
Right? Because what the miners force you to do is they force you to not be loyal. Right? You watch the indicators. Like Ara was saying, we're watching some indicators right now of something.
Yeah.
Because of an event that happened. And it's like all of these miners are psychological. Right? Because it's 100% a mental play. So once people start going, I like money.
Yeah.
They're gonna run for the hills.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about some of the miners is that they're just so freaking high. Yep. It can weather a horrible FUD storm.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what this is going to go through. But if you have the ability to fix something, you fix it when you fix it. But at the same time, we were talking about how, the miners have a new audience or new clients as well.
Yeah.
And the clients own them, and they know that they can buy a website address, mm-hmm. sign into GitHub, get the code, pay a couple of fees, and put a miner up. They don't know about redundancy. They don't know about communication. They know about marketing, right? Or are we on CMC? They know about that stuff, but the stuff to run an everyday shop or understand, hey, what one little bit of FUD will do.
Yeah.
So there was another miner where the miner, it was like going up. It was on AVAX, and the devs had an attitude, and that soured everyone, and now they're just going down. Okay. Right? You have to treat people a certain way when it's a psychological project.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, and I think that's actually a perfect segue into Telegram. I appreciate greatly. First of all, let me clarify that. It is the crypto, or at least DeFi, degen platform of choice when it comes to communication. And I'm sure it's to a community of others, but there are a lot of Telegram chats that pop up with these brand new projects or projects that have been around for a while. And I have felt a mental fatigue hopping in and trying to understand, because that is ultimately a representation of a portion of whatever that community is, whether it's baked beans or whoever. And it is exhausting trying to grasp every concept, because the miners and the nature of it is so fast, especially when it's starting to catch fire like baked beans has been in. And I think the mental fortitude or mental toughness, if you want to say, not to be dramatic, but there's a certain amount of mental fortitude or mental toughness you have to have. I'll be honest with you, Potter, you and I have been talking over, you're talking about like we basically, like, we haven't really we've skipped some parts of Matt learning. We would have had to document, both of us, 24/7.
Yes.
I mean, it's been nonstop. It's been nonstop. And I've sensed that. I've been like, I got to put the phone down for a second, like, taking a second. And then we talked on, before the show, talking about, when you're at your level of constantly analyzing the mental fortitude that it takes to continue. Because if you're tired, okay, cool, but opportunity is going to be missed. Don't ignore your mental health. I mean, I'm a big advocate for mental health, but the fact remains that there's a certain amount of mental fortitude that you have to understand, get used to. And like, this is very macro, what I'm saying right now. And this is understanding that I think a lot of people don't get. You sent me a message not too long ago of somebody on Reddit, and they're like, screw this, I'm down.
Yeah.
100 billion%. And it's just like, I believe that what I just said is a part of that. And unless you've been in it, unless you've done it, you can't possibly understand it.
And a lot of people they're not in DeFi. Mm-hmm. They're just in crypto. They buy a token, they put it in the custody of somebody else, and then they watch it like the stock market. Yep. And they go, yeah, I'm in DeFi. Okay. It's just like when people were like, I have AOL, I do internet. It's like, you know, it's not internet,
Yeah.
We could see what you think it is. But yeah, I love what you said about, you would have to follow us every second. You're right, because you're evolving by the hour.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't make a show about that because it just happened. And while you're making the show, you learn something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That if you hadn't done that, you would give them bad information. So it's crazy.
Well, and, to your point, if you had not done that, you wouldn't receive that information. You're right. And so we've had together, officially, we've been a part of one rug together. And other rugs have happened around me that I've seen. And the rug that we were in, granted, it was intelligent because we didn't put very much into it. But when that was rugged, I was like, okay, well, what? Now I know that. Let's move on to the next one. I'm not saying that any of the things were in our rugs. Everything could be, but
could be, yeah.
Hey,
that's how we're living our life.
Exactly. And but I think when you stay true to those principles of you invest only what you can afford to lose, I think having an optimistic attitude of knowing like this, optimistic and realistic of, yeah, everything could be a rug. This could go away, and that's what's leading me to my point of the diversification. And this is one of the first times that I've now felt this comfort of diversification in the DeFi world, in this degenerate world it is, that, I'm looking at all the projects that I'm in that I can't even count on all of the digits of my body. And, it's like I remember when I was in one or two DeFi plays, and it was like, okay, cool. This could go away. But now that it's so spread out, I think there's a bit of that traditional side of me of that diversification that brings a little bit of comfort. But at the same time, if you have the feeling of like, this can all be rugged, this can all go away, then there's comfort in diversification, but there's a hell of a lot of work with diversification.
Yes. Like people are thinking that the stuff that I'm doing is a get rich quick.
Yes. So overnight success in DeFi, hilarious. And I see it now that it's like, I'm just now tapping into the understanding of the documentation and all that. You've been doing this for almost a year.
Over a year.
Yeah. And so it's luck, or it's not. We've said before, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And,
oh, wow. I like,
and that's the truth. So.
Yeah. So, and I put this back and, people can, giggle if they want, but it was during the pandemic when you saw the specials on Michael Jordan, or you saw when Tom Brady, came here and they talked about excellence, and the only way to be the best is work the hardest. And so that's what I did. I worked the hardest. And so as a consultant, you work with so many smart people, right? That there's just, you're on an echelon with them, right?
Yeah. And
so I just wanted to get up to that echelon. And now that I'm up here, I can look at some of these influencers and go, these have been some very, like, you should follow them and, buy lottery tickets if they tell you, because these guys consistently pick lucky plays, but they've done no technical analysis.
Yeah.
Right? They just go, I like the site color. And if you look at the lines, it's going this way and that way.
Yeah.
Right? They don't understand who made the company. They don't understand the technology. They don't understand who they're partnered with. They don't do any of that research. So, but they're winning over millionaires, millions and millions of dollars. So that's their style. I can't argue with it. And I wish them nothing but the best. Yep. It's just that our style is another ingredient in the soup of DeFi. We have a different approach.
To say the least, because a very common understanding in this miners world right now with all the 8 billion forks that have popped up is the 6-1 method. And I remember the day I sort of hit you up. I was like, "What do you think about the 6-1 method?" And you're like, "It's good for some people, but nah." And then I was just like, "Damn, she knows so much." So,
well, it comes off as arrogant. Like, so when I'm teaching people, sometimes they just go,
"Sure,
okay, miss, I know everything about crypto." I'm like, if you knew how much I studied and how hard I work every day, every hour, you would stand down big time.
Sure. I look at it as conviction in you, to be honest. I mean, but I have the fortunate ability to know who you are. I can't. I mean, I don't think we've known each other for me to be like, I know exactly who you are. I know. I feel I have a majority of understanding of your core as a person, and I only see conviction in that. And it seems to be that great people have what is always mistook as arrogance. It's really just a hell of a lot of conviction, because you have to have a hell of a lot of conviction when you have so many people around you that maybe pull you down. So, conviction. So, well, you got anything in closing?
Keep watching those TBLs, folks. You know, let's see, what's the TBL? Yeah, you definitely want to keep watching those TBLs.
Yeah. Interesting month, to say the least. If you're new here, we go live every Thursday, Friday, Eastern, 10 a.m., 9 a.m., excuse me. Wait, 10 a.m.? I just lost it. I got so deep in this world of DeFi. Why don't we'll click the button to tell you.
I just clicked the other one.
No, you're good. 10 a.m. Eastern. Geez, sorry. So, come back Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays, we typically talk about some of the newbie type stuff. Friday, we talk about one of the projects, Drip. We've been doing some interviews. We got some things set up, and it's been a lot of fun. Potter, I appreciate your patience through all of the Telegram messages we've had, and then on these shows. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. Let's keep on doing it.
And I like how you told people, even when we're talking to each other, I go, "Hey, this is not financial advice." I told somebody this morning, and they were like, "So can you tell me about the dev fee?" And I'm like, DYOR. No, I'm not telling you about the dev fee. Don't be lazy. Do your work.
Yep. It's on the main page at the bottom. Just want to check it out. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow. Yeah. And builders, keep building. Where's the cheers?
Oh, cheers. He's just going to